Hello everyone, I am Mesh and I am Senior Test Automation Architect with 14 plus years of experience in software test automation. I got approved one patent that is in BACnet in the IoT side and another in Q that is towards the automation side. Now in my current role, I explore the new technologies and tools in the market, also introduce them to our test processes and bring value to the organization, also providing the technical architecture, defining strategic direction for testing automation practices, and serving as an expert in defining and rolling out standard automation frameworks. Now I worked on multiple frameworks like complex architecture, scriptless automation, and on Selenium, BTD, REST assured, mobile automation, load and performance too. Now, I participate in application design reviews, ensuring quality automation practices like test pyramid, TDD, BDD cultures, and also the software deployment and the development lifecycle. I contributed a lot. Now, today's topic is the what most of the time the people are scared to answer in interview, that is the security testing. Now, what I'm going to tell you today about is what is a security testing and what are the five best or the key practices for security testing and five key practices for your mobile security or testing too, along with your automation security testing. Also, I'm going to explain all those things. So spare some time with me so that I can explain more in detail about all those things, and then you can understand all those things from basics. Okay. Now, when I talked about security testing, the first question comes in our mind is what is a security testing? Now, security testing is just a type of your one-off software testing, and that ensures security to your software systems and application. It takes care of all the fact that your systems are free from any vulnerability or threats, and that may cause a big loss. In this today's session, what I'm going to tell you that how that security testing go ahead and how we need to follow the processes and everything in terms of security. Now, again, security testing is just a process and that is intended to reveal the flaws in the your security mechanism of any of your information system, and that protect your data and maintain functionality as anything that you've developed. Now, typical security requirement may include your specific elements like your confidentiality, then integrity, authentication, availability, authorization, such type of areas that we always do or validate for your security testing. Now, security testing also we called as a term that has number of different meanings and can be completed in a number of different ways as well. Now, the next question comes is automating a security testing a good move? This is just a next question. Now, yes, definitely automation, or we can say automating your security testing processes is really a good move. Now, just think about the scenario where you just need to examine if known flaws have crept into your software codes or its functionality and have a person to run these checks manually. Now, wouldn't it be a wastage of the manpower, as this routine test can be done easily and efficiently by automation? Now, that you will always need intelligent professionals for ensuring top-notch quality and testing certain aspects of the software. But engaging people from routine security tests isn't economically feasible more, but so when you can easily automate the processes and put the freed human resources to better use somewhere else or any other different testing or any other available projects, or we can say the task, then it is more advantage over there. Now, compared to the penetration testing of the in the previous year, the need of the hour is continuous and automated testing and continuous deployment demands your continuous configuration, development, and testing. So that's why we can say the automating your security testing is definitely a good move. Now, bringing your developers and testers also together in this DevOps world so that they can also help you to do or achieve all those things what you're thinking about to do your security testing or automating your security testing. Now, next thing, what's security testing, or we can say what are the step-by-step approach that we can follow. Now, if you can see, the first step is your plan. Now, when I talked about the plan, I can say we need to spot unsecured frameworks and APIs and map those parts of security sensitive code such as user authentication, password changes mechanism, understand your user roles and their level of authentication at each level, and again application forces regulatory problems, and chart out all the way to overcome those. That means your first thing needs to be a plan so that you can identify all your security, or you can say sensitive codes such as your user authentication, password changes mechanism, or your user roles, or you can say sometimes you have the security systems, or you can say a security portal where you just set some of the roles to some of the users. All those things are majorly your security constraints where you need to focus first, and those you need to plan first. Now, second is your involvement. Now, second step to do this approach is your involvement. Now, what is this involvement is, like we can say you need to get your developers involved and connect them to security. You should encourage an open door approach and if necessary opt for online collaboration and communication solutions like any of the system that you are using in your organization, like you can use Microsoft Teams, Skype, or any other things, but involve all the team members like from the developments too, because then only you can identify some of the flaws when you discuss with them. Now the third is step is the framework setup. Now what about this framework setup? So we need to empower all your developers by asking the testers to provide them with the secure frameworks and service component architecture, which we can say SCA. So we just ask them what are your service component architecture, SCA tools that can offer a rapid frequently security feedback on your pre-commit stage. And this should be followed by your automation where you can integrate with your build also. That means in my previous question I asked, is automation is the best way for security testing? Answer is yes. So here we can use that. When you are going to set up your framework and you need to set up your SCA, that is service component architecture, you just need to get the feedback on your pre-commit stage. That means any developer commit their code using GitHub or any other different version control system, you can simply integrate your code or your test along with that. And there are different things also by which you can integrate, like your Bamboo, Jenkins, TeamCity. Okay, and you can just leverage SAST, or we can say SAS, DAST, AST, and RSV. Okay, all those are mark the build as a failure if that does not pass the security bars. Now, what is this SAST? So SAST stands for your static application security testing. When we talked about, I'll go more in detail about those today. What I'm going to plan is I can at least give you some of the understanding how security testing works and what are the majorly things that we need to consider while doing the security testing. Okay, so now when I talked about SAST, SAST is your static application security testing. Same way, when we said DAST, it is your dynamic application security testing. Okay, so it is your dynamic application security testing. Same way, your IST is your interactive application security testing, and RASP is your runtime application self protection. It is runtime application self protection. I'll go these 4 definitions with the example. When I'm going with any of the tool, the security testing, I'll teach you all those things. How do we proceed with the security testing on any of the web application and all those? Then only we can see this. Now, there is a question comes in my mind. Do you know what is, did you do any security testing as of now in your career? This is what my first question. Do you think that is what you did? Let's say this is my redditmail.com and I wanted to just log in the Reddit. So do you think you can do any security testing over here? Anyone wants to answer on this? Do you think you did any of the security testing here? Do you think any of you just finished the security testing over here? Why I'm asking this question, then I'll explain you more in detail about those. Don't worry. So do you think any security testing you have done here? Or you think you can, you already did the security testing? Most of the time this is question in manual interviews too. Have you been involved anywhere in the security testing? Now if you can ask me the same question here on this page, what I can say, let's say I enter here automated script is automated script, and immediately I entered in the password my password. Okay, I entered my password here. Now if that password that I can see that is not encrypted format, then do you think this is one of the security breach? This is what the security breach. If you can see the password that you already did you manually. Okay, most of the time what people are I mean, they have the fear about security testing. Okay, how come I follow the security approach? What I can do in the security testing? So these are also some of your security approaches which you need to follow. Okay, and you can just do these things. You can just do these things. Okay, these are what I wanted to show you. This is one of your aspect of security testing. Now what I'm jumping on the next is your security testing levels. Now what are the levels that we can see in the security testing? So there are 3 different layers: your functional, non-functional, and application and infra level of security test. Now what is functional security test? So it is used to verify and test if security features such as your logout and authentication, which just now I show you, okay, are functioning as expected, and you can use existing acceptance testing browser automation tools like your WebDriver, Selenium to automate this. Okay, so here our Selenium WebDriver comes into the picture, where you can validate your all the features are expected or they are just working as expected, and major threats to your logout, authentication, such type of features. Those all you can test using your this level. Now the second level is your application and infra level. When I say infra, it is infrastructure where you have some of the containerization, some of the pods in any other infra where your application is hosted. Now there you can use some of the tools to do this validation, like OWASP, which is a Google open source library, okay, which currently when I am working. I will explain that in my upcoming sessions how OWASP work, okay, and which help you to do exhaustive security scanning. That helps you to do exhaustive security scanning, okay. And the third one is your non-functional security test. So it is again a misconfiguration and known weaknesses can be tested and automated as the glitches are known already. So thus whether it's using weak SSL or your suits are not using HTTP only flag, or you are not using the session cookies. You can test them by leveraging a fusion approach where browser automation and proxy server is used to examine the inject this request. Now, many believe that you can't use automation to test application logic. It's true to some extent, as finding errors in the logic of the application would need a human brain at work. Okay, so that's because automation or automated tools can't deal with the different functions that need to be tested in such cases by drawing upon the past experiences and skills. However, once these glitches have been noted, then you can define the parameter and record them as an automation test, and then you can become a component of security regression test. So you can create your own component in the security test. So these are all your non-functional security tests where your automation comes into the picture. Okay, now I just wanted to explain you how do you setting up the security goals and their implementation. Now, in the DevOps world, security goals must be stated clearly and driven by the business objectives. Since all teams work as a close knit or unit in the DevOps, there should be open communication and collaboration, and the security test must be understandable by all stakeholders. In other words, if you can say ready, you are just ready to expose your processes for to testing and record runtime manual security test and automate them. Same way, you can simply ensure that security tests fit into DevOps. Now your workflow and CI/CD, that is continuous integration and deployment pipeline, should be implemented. Make sure the security test logic. So I'm telling you all those goals which you wanted to set up for your security testing. Okay, so again, you can make sure the security test logic and those are independent of your navigation code. Again, you can check for the test errors and test failures. You can keep a close eye on your test maintenance. You can perform regular sanity checks along the way and ask your testers to provide you with the starting point of ready to use security test. Integrating your security testing into your automated build process also needs you to use your regular methods like WAP, then we can say periodization testing, then reviewing the code for security sensitive portions. So all those basic principle is just get everyone on the team involved in the process and bring developers, testers, QAs, IT infra people together so that it's a team effort and they isn't any of them or it's all we can say everyone working together at one goal of your security testing. So these are all goals that you need to set and share with all the team members within your own project. So I already discussed with whom you need to share all those processes with your developers, your QAs, your IT infra people, or any other people who are involved into all those deployment and all. Okay, so that is how you can just set up your security goals. Now the important point. The question comes, a mobile testing, or we can say mobile application security testing. Now, when we talked about mobile application security testing, why this mobile application security testing is in boom nowadays, why people are facing so many challenges to do this, and why they are focusing more on mobile testing mobile security testing. The reason behind is I'll explain you some of the things in terms of the current market scenario, or we can say the market dollar hold, or we can say the expenditure. Okay, the moment of critical application that to mobile is faster than expected, like your e-marketer expects mobile to overtake your desktop in US, rising from $8.72 billion to $12.85 billion. Okay, and just slightly above the desktops, that is $12.82 billion. Now, at the same time, there will be a 156.4 million mobile phone search users in the US, and those representing 49% of the population. Okay, as of there are some data like 78% of Facebook users are mobile only, 84% of 13 to 17-year-old own the mobile phone nowadays. Now 83% of 6 to 9-year-old use tablet, mobile devices, and their makers providing customized platform to increase their share of the customer's wallet. So if you can think how big the market is for the mobile and the tablet side, then think about how much people are ready to pay on the security testing of those mobile applications. Now, what top 5 major activities to test your security of mobile application? Now, these are my top 5 activities or major activities that I am going to consider to test the security of my mobile application. First thing is my mobile application. Now, first thing is my mobile application. Now, there are three types of application which are hosted in any mobile. The first one is your native application that is written in a specific platform and will run only in the supported devices like your iOS, Android, or any Windows. Okay. Now, most commonly are the web application which any mobile device can access and that are built in using standards like HTML5 and available online. And the last one, the mobile application, is your hybrid application, a web-based user interface that have the layer of native application around it, which combines the best of both, that is native, and HTML5, that is your web. So this is how your hybrid application works. So try to answer if somebody asks you the question, which type of mobile application you have tested. So there are three different types: native application, web applications, and hybrid application. Okay, that is the first thing or first activity out of those 5 that you need to consider. Now, second is your mobile security vulnerable areas. Now, as a horizon widens, the scope of the security threat also increases and substantially for the mobile application because the user base increases. The security risk for the mobile application comes in the following 5 ways. So the first way is your how the access to the system work. Now, where the users are challenged while accessing the systems, how your password and user IDs can be tracked in a mobile. Now, how your data which comes to the mobile application is validated. How to crack the audit trail of your data flow to and from your mobile application. You can trail that. You can audit trail that and then you can validate that. Now, how safe is the data stored in the mobile devices? Does encryption happens for all the critical data? And is data leaking to the log files or out through the notifications? These are all the areas those we need to consider in your mobile security. Then your the major mobile security threats. I'll explain you 5 major mobile security threats. So the first is the data available in the mobile like phone number, call logs, contacts, account details, IMEI can be accessed without the knowledge of the mobile owners. Okay, so which may be due to the vulnerability in the application installed in mobiles. Now, second major one which may cause financial losses are like sending premium SMS messages, stealing your PIN numbers from the transaction authorization, making expensive calls, and fake antivirus and ransomware. All these are your second security threats. Now, thirdly, your impersonation can happen by SMS redirection, sending email messages, and posting in social media like Facebook, Twitter, or any etc. any other social media or LinkedIn, whichever you used. Now, fourthly, there may be a surveillance issues like accessing the audio, camera, call logs, location, and SMS messages in mobile devices. And lastly, the botnet. So currently we can say the chatbot and bot is used a lot in your mobile application. So the botnet activities like launching DDoS activities, click, fraud, and sending premium SMS messages from those devices are major mobile security threats. Okay, now how this mobile security threat modeling works. So before proceeding on the vulnerability existing in the mobile apps and threats modeling, we should categorize the application available in the mobile, the type of application ported in the device by manufacturer. Normally, developers of this application should have considered the OWASP, that is top 10 threats, and address the same. I can take some of the example also to this top 10 threads like SQL injection. The code should verify that use interpreters clearly separates untrusted data from your command or from your query. Now, before identifying the threads, the factors which expose the mobile application like location, independence, always online, and traceable nature. More focus on design and functionality than security. Now, multiple types of application on the devices should be considered and appropriate weight should be given. And the threat modeling should consider both the device security and app security, like the jailbreak, different platforms, version, interfaces, mobile device management. Now, also the exposure to different attackers like internal, external, network, or device access, black box, white box should be considered. Now the final one is your mobile security tools and testing tools. So many people are worried about how do we start the mobile or we can start security testing. So there are so many applications or tools or the open source tools are available in market. Now there are some of the commercial tools available which protects your mobile against anti-theft, antivirus, backup essentials, blocking unwanted calls, then parental controls, web root analysis, SIM card locking. These tools are available to the end users to protect their devices. Still, the mobile security testing tools area is emerging with the tools which are comprehensively address the above mobile security threats which I have just now explained. The tools which identify vulnerability in the application are quite good, and the mobile security tester should find the appropriate tools to identify this vulnerability and write comprehensive test cases to address them in the mobile devices and application. So when we talked about all those things, guys, so important things for the mobile application security testing is to identify your all security threats first. Once you identify based on those, you can just set up your threat modeling, and then you can select your security tools to proceed your security testing. So with this, I'm just going to close it here today. Yeah, I want you guys to provide your comment on this video about my next topic, that I can, what you want me to cover, like how IoT changed the software testing, how to start your mobile automation from the scratch, or IoT automation testing, or how do we proceed the IoT automation testing. These are some of the topic which we can cover in our upcoming sessions. Now, this is my LinkedIn profile. You can search automated script on LinkedIn and just follow me. So also you can search directly on the LinkedIn with this URL. Still, I'll be available there. So thank you so much for joining today's session. I'm going to cover any of the topic that you can paste on the comment box. If you like this video, just press like. If you wanted to share, then please share this video and do comment so that I can get the better topic for my next live session. Thank you so much, guys, once again for joining this session. Have a good night.